Nice first start, first game. It was nice to truthfully see the guys back in State Farm Center, a place that I'm so proud of our fans selling out, our students who Orange Crush in 26 minutes. There's nothing like playing here. So I'm excited for our guys. There was an anxiety level, a sense of nerves to be in here for the first time. Obviously the exhibition at Ole Miss was a different experience going on the road, but saw a lot of really good things. I'm going to start with Kyle Boswell's on-ball defense in the first half. I thought it was fabulous. I thought it stymied them. It controlled the tempo, forced them out of what they wanted to do. I thought that was spectacular. I thought, obviously, Dre Gibbs, Longhorn doing what he does, just get a bucket. And his first half was really impressive. Great looks, got fouled, got on the offensive glass, a little bit of everything. And then I thought Tommy was really kind of the dominant offensive figure in the first half, and both on the glass, running stuff to him. I saw a little bit of his passing ability, but again, he had a tough night shooting it, which is something he has been doing at a very high clip. So he throws a couple of those in. It's a different, really a big night for him. But the second half I thought was a little bit better. I thought one thing I thought the first half, we missed a lot of good looks that we normally make, but we got 50% of our misses back, and that was a positive. And then Merez defensively, 6 blocks, tied a freshman record. And then obviously you guys got to see a little bit of what we get to enjoy quite often in Will Riley on a heater. And hard shot maker, wasn't like they weren't guarding him, and he's just got that gift. And so it was a nice first night. We did a lot of things positive. I thought our tempo, other than we had a little, I think Bam had a couple back-to-back turnovers, so I thought we did a much better job of taking care of the ball. But KJ, that's KJ. You look at his stat line, and he just stuffed it. And they trapped ball screens. He's gonna play out of it. It wasn't a big night for him shooting the ball, but 7 assists, 2 turnovers, handling the ball all the time, 5 rebounds. Pretty good debut. I apologize for the call.
Brad, you mentioned you get to see it often. How often does that happen with Will, and when does he get in that zone, or what is key for him?
I don't know about every day. Yeah, he's just got a gift. It's he was our leading scorer in the Butler scrimmage. He was a guy that competes. He enjoys it. He is, and when he gets 1 or 2 going, it's so many ways. He understands. He had the foul line. He was offensive rebounding. It was 15-footers. It was threes off the dribble. It's a little bit of everything. So he's not just, hey, we're going to do this one thing and stop it. He's got a pretty full package.
Brad, 2 things on Tommy. And just in that first half, Marty mentioned about how good of a passer he was, especially in the first half. Just his skill along with his size, is that going to be a unique thing? And 2, when he's on the floor, it seemed like you were, I don't know how to say this, but giving him crap as he was walking off the floor, or what did you think it was serious when he was getting carried off?
I always think things are a little serious, but I saw him smile, so I knew he was tired. And they told me the real reason was he had to go to the bathroom. So with Tommy, there's always a little sense of that. But, you know, he's a terrific passer. He's got an extremely high basketball IQ. His feel allows him to do and make others better. You can run a lot of offense through him. You know, he's so efficient, you know, and just in terms of his, you know, his numbers. We didn't get him a lot of looks tonight other than 3, got 10 shots, but, you know, he's going to make 3 or 4 of those threes almost every night. And, you know, if not, you know, he can bounce it. And, you know, he threw a nice pass off the dribble. So, yeah, his passing is pretty special.
Brad, I know you saw Will have a similar display in the UIBL this spring. What does it say about him to come in here to a new level and do that in his first real game? And how similar are those two?
I don't think he cares. I don't think it matters for him. He's different. Will's got a different passion, motivation for the game than a lot of people. He's just got a gift that he gets lost in the world he's in. I saw it a lot with Michael Beasley, and I'm not trying to compare him to, you know, Mike, but you just play, and Will does that. He just plays the game the right way, and you know, and when he gets on one, you just want to keep feeding the monster, and it's fun to watch.
Brad, obviously defense struggled a little bit at Ole Miss. How do you feel like you progressed coming in this one?
Well, we actually guarded the ball. I mean, we actually sat down today and guarded. We were atrocious in that exhibition game. We had no grit. We had no fight. You know, if you ask what our identity was, it might be a lot of things that weren't very positive. So we really had to get back after that. And, you know, the Eastern's a good team. You know, Marty does a great job, and those guys shoot a ton. They're in ball screens maybe as much as any team in the country. And they're going to shoot a ton of mid-range pull-ups. And it was a great night for us to believe that, yes, they're going to hit a few. But over the course of 40 minutes, it gets really hard to do that. And I thought our rear view contests were good. I thought our communication, which is something we've been harping on from day one, was really good. It was nice to see the freshmen out there talking, but Kylan does a tremendous job of that. He's you know, he's a quarterback out there.
Coach, do you like how KJ can push the pace, especially in the second half? Seems like that's a big part of getting into the offense and creating scoring opportunities.
Yes, and you know, I think it's one of the transitions that KJ's going through. You know, in Europe they play. There's maybe a little more sets involved, but on misses we got to go. And I didn't think in the first half we did a great job of running, especially our wings. But KJ excels in the open court, and you know, if you're open and you run, you know, guys are starting to figure out he'll get you the basketball. So we'll keep growing in that area, but I love that aspect of his game.
What's Dre maybe done in the last month or last couple of weeks that, you know, he played well at Ole Miss, and then tonight maybe, you know, played one of his better games as well?
No, I think it goes back to the work he started last spring towards the end of the season. And I think that I was gaining a lot more confidence in him. He had problems staying out of foul trouble in a lot of games. So his stints were a little shorter, so it was hard to see that offense get going. But then you get an off season of work, which he works. He's put the time in. He's changed his body with Fletch, and now you get, you know, that, to sound very cliche, freshmen become sophomores, and he's confident. He's defending without fouling. He's impacting the game on that end just as much as he is on the offensive side. So turned into a really, really nice player.
Brad, what went into Ty's decision to redshirt, and how does that impact your team?
Yeah, I think the one thing about young people is they have goals, they have things they want to try to reach. I think it was an opportunity that he felt and we felt that he could continue to grow. you know, in terms of his game offensively. There's not a sweeter, and I use that term, nicer young man, kind heart, good human being, does everything right, will be a coach to these guys, but just has some areas of his game that he wants to continue to work on, and you know, we support that, and development is what we've hung our hat on in this program, and he knows he's got a great group of coaches to help him do that, and you know, it's a you know, it's always a loss when you lose a guy who started every game off a Elite 18, you know, and you know, I always say this about Ty when I'm asked about it, he's a winner. You know, you don't have to look at the box score. All you have to do is look at the wins and the losses, and you know, whether it was his AAU team, whether it was his high school teams, you know, or what he's done here for 2 years, he just wins. So we're going to need his voice. You know, we won't have him on the court, but we're going to have his voice in terms of helping guys develop and grow in the locker room.
Can you walk us through a timeline as when it kind of became clear to you that this was his path?
No, I mean, it's been something that you know, I don't know if there is one. I think there's conversations that happen. I think there's you understand how much time he's spent in the off season, and I think there's a lot of things. I don't know if there's a specific timeline, you know, to what this is, but it's just something that we've talked about here you know, before the start of the season and through the exhibitions for, you know, last 3 or 4 weeks, and since practice has started, and you know, I think he's excited about the next step and in his development, as I am as well.
Brad, you always speak about how well of a coach that Marty is. How do these matchups help prepare the team?
Well, 2 things. One, Marty's won a ton of games throughout his career, and you know his teams are going to execute. And from an execution standpoint, they make you have to defend them. They make you guard them. You know, they run, you know, 2 or 3 actions that they got baskets on. We've got to learn to handle those better. You know, I made a comment to Orlando and Zach on the bench. I said, that's something we haven't worked enough on, you know, and we got to get back to that. And but his teams always play hard. You know, it's one of the top defensive teams in their conference. They will be again. They force a ton of turnovers, and you know, it's a great appreciation for Marty, and you know, of course, we've you know, got a lot of connections over there. It's close. You know, Tom is one of us, and so it's just a great opportunity for us to play them. We benefit as well as I think they do.
Brad, you scored 110 of your 112 points either in the paint from 3 or at the foul line. Is that about as good as you can do?
Or were the other
Well,
two?
hit a pull-up too.
Yeah,
He was out of here.
I'll have to run him. You know, that's all we talk about: threes, layups, you know, or paint shots, and you know, we play it's crazy because you're gonna ask me to explain it, and I can't. We play a shot selection game which has completely different scoring than the game of basketball does, based on where you shoot the shots and how you get them, and it's making players aware of those good and bad shots, and tonight was I don't know, 46 free throws, 42 threes, you know. I hope we have a night where we have 50 3-point attempts and make 25 of them. You know, it's just, it's what this team is made to do, and what we're trying to help them do. And again, we shot poorly in the first half, and numbers are pretty good.
Coach, how would you describe Morris Johnson's rebounding prowess, and how important is that going to be for him to get into the heart of the season?
Huge. Morez is a gifted rebounder. He's got a nose for the ball. He chases it. He's extremely physical. Morez's lower base is extremely strong, so he doesn't bump easy. He's always on balance when he goes to rebound. I think, I might be mistaken, I think he holds USA Basketball's record for the most rebounds in a game with USA Basketball. But you see his versatility, his athleticism. He has the ability to go block shots. He has the ability to go grab rebounds above the rim. And it's something, I'll be very honest, we haven't had. So excited for his development and what his future holds.
Hey coach, with all these new guys, you're gonna need leaders. How important is it for the new players to see the lone returner now in Dre not only be an improved scorer, but just hustling everywhere, the effort, seems like he's breaking a sweat as soon as he steps on the court?
Yeah, the best thing about Dre is, and I appreciated this so much about Dre last year, when he wasn't playing, he is genuinely happy when others succeed. And that is so contagious. I love that about Dre. And, you know, he's the cheerleader. All of our guys in our locker room know how hard he works and how much time he puts in. So that translates. You know, he's an easy guy to root for because he's everything that we're about. And yeah, my hat's off to him because he's put in the work. He's seeing the rewards now, and it's just he's about the right things.
Brad, a year ago you were talking about Sincere going down the development path, and obviously you ended up staying here. Is it difficult when you expect a guy in a certain role, and then with the red shirt, there's no guarantee you'll have them the following year?
Yeah, it's a world we're in. It's a world we're in. I think he's an Illini. I think he's our guy. We love Ty to death, but our world doesn't have any guarantees now, and so we'll do everything that we can do within our power to to help him be as successful as he can be, and there's no rhyme or reason to anything, but we sure hope he's an Illini.
With like 3 or 4 minutes left, you were able to empty the bench out. Is there a reason Jason didn't end up getting on the court?
No, we're approaching that red shirt topic with him as well, and so we don't want to put him in a stressful situation with that.
Matt, this will be the last one from
Brad, you mentioned the 46 free throws. It seemed like last year that was dictated by whether or not TJ got to the line or not with your team. This year is 30, 35 a night realistic because of the 5 you can put out there?
I hope so. I hope I think that, I'll be honest, one of my big worries in the off season is how do we replace 287 free throw attempts by Terrence Shannon. Those were a lot of points. That led to a lot of efficiency. I think that every game is different, but I do think that living in the paint, attacking the rim, keeping the floor spaced, being able to attack closeouts, all of those things are vital to our success offensively, and getting fouled is something we work really hard on. We think it's a really good thing.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.